to Shedeur, drops in the end zone, flushed out to his right, running, throws it across his body, and Mikey Harrison makes a grab, the tight end. He steps up in the pocket, looks, throws it out on the near side, grab is made, stop and go to the 25, to the 30, and then out of bounds on the near side goes Dawson. Shotgun snap, taken by Shedeur, drops, he throws upfield, catches made at the 45, eluding a defender, goes Xavier Weaver. Shedeur steps up in the pocket, flushed to the near side, rifles it downfield, Jimmy Horn Jr. at the 14, eludes a man to the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown, Colorado!
A 98-yard drive. 2:06 remaining in the ball game. Punt out of bounds at the 2, and the Buffaloes take over, and Shedeur Sanders was masterful in that drive to tie the game at 28. Buffs win it in double overtime to improve to 3-0. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Buffalo Stampede. Coach Gary Barnett, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Well, you coach a lot of offensive football. 98-yard drive, that circumstance, that is legendary kind of stuff.
That's right? Legendary, and you know, especially we hadn't played well enough to any of us to think that we were going to be able to go 98 yards because we hadn't been able to run the football. We struggled, but I'm telling you that was a drive for the ages because Shedeur Sanders was just spot on. He made every throw. He scrambled. He did everything that you'd want in a quarterback. It was masterful. And then the touchdown to Jimmy Horn was a great play. And it was. No one saw that one coming, I don't think.
You know, Gary, sometimes in this game you have beautiful games. I mean, you think about the first contest, 510 yards passing against TCU, 45 points. Sometimes they're not attractive. Sometimes all victories are beautiful, as we well know, but sometimes you got to grind it out. That's what this game was about, wasn't it?
It was, and it's funny if you're on the other side and you ground it out as hard as CSU did, and as well as CSU did, and then you don't get the win. That one's tough. Yeah. And our side of it, we struggled on a lot of different fronts, but they found a way to win. And like I said, Shedeur just was unbelievable, as was Mikey Harrison.
Well, I was going to say, on this team, you look at some of the skill guys. You've got Travis Hunter, who went out with an injury, by the way. You've got Xavier Weaver. You got Dylan Edwards. You got Jimmy Horn Jr. Mikey Harrison's a guy, before the season, I don't think anybody thought about it. He was a walk-on wide receiver. They transitioned to tight end. He's become a wonderful weapon for them.
Well, he is, and he's a perfect fit because he gets matched up with linebackers all the time because he's at the tight end position or the inside receiver, and so it's a great match for us. And he's a receiver by trade. He knows what to do, and he's not a tight end, and so he's a great pass catcher for us.
And he had a couple of touchdowns in overtime. Buffs ended up winning it 45-33. Buffs improved to 3-0 as they win the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Afterward, we heard from the quarterback who was masterful in this game.
Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Well, we do it in practice all the time, so it's not really a shocking or a surprise to it. It's just like, okay, we like those high pressure moments. Like that's what we live in, and I wish the whole game was just straight that. Honestly, that's when I say we excel. But really, like in my own mind, I was thinking Brady mode. Like he does it all the time. I got to be able to do it. So it's just like I already knew what was required. I already been there before. So it's like I'm not gonna be able to live with myself honestly, like on a loss like that. Like, so I just didn't want to go through that. We gotta give a round of applause for the pick six, man. Clutch brothers. For the pick six, man. He tried to do Dad's dance, but you thought he was gonna get caught.
I know. I was gonna extend that pick. I was just gonna go to the side like Madden, but I was like, this guy's mad and he's.
Hey, them ticket prices was worth it today, so.
Nah, but when Travis went down, like it made me feel some type of way, honestly, because like you took like one of my brothers, on the offensive side, so it really hurt me a lot, knowing the work he put in and everything just leading up to the game, and knowing like you could always count on him in those moments. So now we have Mikey step up today, because I'm proud of him for just getting in the windows and understanding. So his number was called and he was ready to execute.
There's the quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, after the Buffaloes get the win of the Rocky Mountain Showdown in double overtime, knock off the Rams. We continue with Coach Gary Barnett. All right, flip to the defensive side in this one. Rams had a pretty good offensive game plan against Colorado.
They really did, and we heard Shedeur talk about, and Trevor Woods talk about how they were trying to rally up on those crossing routes that were coming up underneath and make the tackles. Well, we rallied up, but we didn't make tackles, and so they made big play after big play on just the crossing routes, and it was hard to stop. And that combination of that and the running game made them a hard out for us. We could not get off the field. I mean, they had 87 plays, Mark. We had 72. You know, it usually goes the other way. But they had the ball almost 10 minutes more than we did. And so that made that game really complicated, that we could not come up with a stop. But we hung in there. We ended up with 3 interceptions, all of them at key times, one of them for a touchdown, one of them to save the game at the end. So, you know, we made plays we had to, and that's a sign of a team that's playing together.
Yeah, guys making big plays. Shiloh Sanders had an 80-yard touchdown interception as well. Juwan Mitchell's turning out to be a heck of a player at the linebacker position for Colorado.
He's a great tackler, and he's sudden, and he gets there fast, and you know, he's only been in the system for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, so he's going to get better as we go on. And you know, I think he's probably a good blitzer. I'm eager to watch what they do with him in that category.
Yeah, pretty impressive defensive ability there. Okay, the Buffaloes are 3-0. They've had to really gut check 2 of these wins. So that says something about kind of the heart of this team, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Yeah.
And, you know, nobody gave these guys a chance to start the season to be 3-0. Nobody. And you know what? Here we are. We're 3-0. So I don't think you count this team out from anything, but they're going to find out what they're made of in the next 2 weeks.
Yep. Open up Pac-12 conference play next Saturday. We're going to be in Eugene, Oregon. That's a 1:30 Mountain Time game as the Buffs will take on the Ducks. That'll be a big one. That's the coach, Gary Barnett. Coming up next, we're going to talk to our silent reporter, Andy Lindahl.